Namaste. My name is Prakash Chitre. I am an independent researcher and the author of the book Our Intellectual Heritage, which was published by Motilal Banarsidass last year in March. Based on one of the chapters in the book, I have prepared a set of 8 videos, namely Archaeological Evidence of Ancient Indian Knowledge. I hope you saw part 1 because in it I had explained the various modern technologies used by archaeologists, marine archaeologists, geophysicists, etc., to study the archaeological findings in India. In this part, I'm going to look at some very, really ancient findings in India. But first, an acknowledgement. Some examples of very early presence of Homo sapiens in India. Microlithic stone cleavers found in Athirampakkam in Tamil Nadu. Way back in the second half of the 19th century, a British geophysicist discovered some microlithic tools in Athirampakkam. These were finely sharpened microlithic tools fashioned from quartzite. At that time, of course, they couldn't have known the significance of these tools. However, about a decade or 2 decades ago, using with the help of the optical stimulated luminescence technology, which I had explained in part 1, these were dated to 385 to 172,000 years old. Such tools require fine motor development and a much larger cranial capacity than that of a Homo erectus. Therefore, it is far more likely that these were made by Homo sapiens. Now, the significance here is that it is generally believed that the Homo sapiens came into being some 300 to 200,000 years ago. However, these findings very clearly show that the Homo sapiens existed long before that, almost 100,000 years before that. Now, these have been kept in the Government Museum, Egmore, Chennai. Narmada Man, Madhya Pradesh. An old human skull was found in the Narmada Valley in 1982, which has been dated prima facie to 300 to 150,000 years old. Now, thus, the skull has been named the Narmada Man because it was found in the Narmada Valley. Now, due to its age, it was initially thought to be that of a Homo erectus, but it was later found that its cranial capacity was much larger than that of a Homo erectus. Thus, it was that of a Homo sapien. Now, it is still the skull is still being studied at the Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleosciences in Lucknow. Dhaba, Madhya Pradesh. Continuous human habitation from 80 to 40,000 years ago, i.e., before and after the Toba catastrophe, lithic artifacts were found and examined. The significance is that there's at least one school of thought which feels that the Toba catastrophe, which took place 74,000 years ago, uh, a massive eruption in the Toba island of Indonesia. It wiped out the apart from all other life forms, the human beings, the Homo sapiens also, and just about 10,000 of them were left in Africa, which multiplied and later on spread to various other parts of the world. That is indeed not so because the Dhaba findings show that there was a continuous habitation from before as well as after the Toba catastrophe. New findings keep updating human knowledge. Jwalapuram, Andhra Pradesh. Hundreds of painted rock shelters found here from the early Paleolithic age. Now, Paleolithic age is the early Stone Age, Mesolithic is the Middle Stone Age, and Neolithic period is the New Stone Age. OSL studies of microlithic tools indicate that these are 77 to 38,000 years old. Using OSL, microlithic arrowheads found to have been dated to 35,000 years old. Bhimbetka rock shelters, Madhya Pradesh. The oldest rock paintings in this site are from circa 50 to 40,000 years ago. Many of them from later time periods are of men riding horses in battle or while hunting. Now, several such paintings have been dated to be from 7,500 plus BP. I'm sorry. A large number of discoveries have been made in the north, west, and southern part of India, which show the presence and domestication of horses in India in similar ancient periods. Now, this is one of the pieces of evidence, and that the Aryan invasion theory is uh, incorrect. Anyway, that I have discussed in detail in another chapter of my book, so I won't go into more detail over here. Ambadevi rock shelters, Madhya Pradesh, from Paleolithic and Mesolithic period. That means at least more than 10,000 plus years ago. I think they're dated to something like 25,000 years ago. Over 155 rock shelters with petroglyphs as well as pictographs. I think I mentioned in the first part, the petroglyphs are, um, uh, you know, uh, rock art, form of rock art, which is made by etching out the surface of a rock. Obviously, made with a tool which is harder than the rock face. And pictographs are pictures on the rock. Geometric motifs, roundels and circles, were found in some paintings. Now, roundels are medallion-like shapes, and these were made on rock, obviously, but they can also be in various other substances. In this case, in the rock face. Now, circles. Now, this is significant, but old man must have been familiar with the circular shape, because he must have seen the moon every month all his life. So they were familiar with the circle. But how about the other shapes, other geometric shapes? Now that is significant. Rock paintings in these four places in Tamil Nadu, mostly animal and human figures, including men riding elephants and horses, very likely to be more than 10,000 plus years old, i.e., from the Mesolithic period. Now, this is something very interesting. In Alambadi, some paintings show the inner organs of a cow and a deer as if they had been x-rayed. It shows their unusual ability for such keen observation and depiction. Paintings of domesticated horses found in two other places in Tamil Nadu. Petroglyphs and pictographs in Edakal cave. Now, Edakal is not really a cave. It's a huge rock. It's a small hill, maybe, which was split into two millions of years ago, and two rock faces face each other. On the inner surfaces of these two pieces, there are petroglyphs and pictographs. Now, these are from Mesolithic period. Geometric designs on the two walls. Now, this is again very significant, and I'll come back to it in one of the later parts. A human figure with a square headdress and a wheel cart in one of the designs. Petroglyphs on the hard rock, it indicates they're etching by a harder material, maybe iron. Now, some scholars believe that this was iron with which they made it. This is also suggested by the depth of the etchings and sharpness of the edges. I'm sorry. Petroglyphs and pictographs in the Badami group of caves. Mesolithic period, which for the region is circa 10,000 plus BP. A striking feature is a painting on the ceilings of a cave in Sitadone, which is part of the Badami group. It is, now please note this, painting is 10.8 meters by 7 meters in size, that is 35 by 23 feet. Now this huge painting has been made on the ceiling, which is 5.2 meters high, 17 feet. Now that is really something. A huge painting like this made on the ceiling. It consists of animal scenes superimposed with geometric designs. Now this kind of a leitmotif that we keep coming across it in Karnatak, in Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, and also in Maharashtra, as you'll see in one of the later parts. And I'll come back to it, and I would like to discuss it a little more in detail later. Now, this brings me to the end of part 2 of 8 parts. Now, thank you very much, viewers, for taking interest in watching this video, for your time and patience in doing so. I sincerely hope that you liked it. Please do write your comments, queries, so that I can respond to it at the earliest. In continuation, I shall upload part 3 in a day or two. Do look out for it. In part 3, I shall start discussing the various findings in the Sindhu Saraswati Civilization region, that also known as the Harappan civilization, and also in other parts of India. But that is beginning from part 3 to part 8. Thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting you again in part 3, part 4, part 5, 6, 7, and 8. Thank you and goodbye.